What's good, everybody? Happiest of Saturdays. We are here today to do our live stream for Love After Lockup. The season premiere just happened, so I'm very excited. This is one of my favorite shows. As always, we will recap the season as we get the episodes. I usually recap them the day after, Sunday at the latest. So I'm just super excited to be back recapping it. So we got a couple new couples. We also have some couples that we are familiar with that we've seen on Love During Lockup, some of them. So I like that they switched it up. I feel like they're just going to keep giving us like a couple that we know is not going to make it, which I will go over. That's actually who we're starting with, Zariah and Troy. Zariah lives in New York. She is a PK, aka, for those who don't know, a PK means that she's a pastor's kid, and she is an executive for a company. Now, she basically is entirely different from Troy. She was raised in a church, he was raised in the streets. She and Troy have been married for 3 years, which is concerning. And the father to her child, the baby daddy, is locked up as well. Now, she met Troy through her ex, which is crazy to me. Her ex-husband was the cellmate with Troy, which is just kind of shady. I'm like, girl, they say it's always them church girls. That's all I'm saying, y'all. They say it's them church girls. Cause I'm like, why would you think that it's smart to date your husband's cellmate? Like that's just weird to me. I don't quite understand it. But this girl, she's all over the place, y'all. She is truly all over the place. It drives me insane. So her parents want Troy to basically come to church. They want him in the church. They seem like the type of Christians who's not going to leave you alone. They're judging everybody who's not in the church and trying to actively recruit them, which kind of annoys me, y'all. I'm not going to lie, just a little bit. But, to each his own. That's the family dynamic. I'm sure they're confused as to why she's with them anyway. Um, so we also learned that Troy has adopted her son, another red flag, y'all. And I'm just like, why would you let this man adopt your child? Like, I understand having a good relationship with your child, but it's already enough he's in jail. Like, why would you want somebody locked up who ain't proven himself to adopt your child? Now, if you want to leave him, you got to deal with if he wants to leave you because he could stay attached through that child. Stupid. But this girl is not the smartest girl. And I knew Zariah wasn't the smartest when I saw that she had her skin hollering for help and she's got makeup caked on it anyway. So I knew that she wasn't the smartest. Now we do meet Zariah's sister, who, by the way, looked nothing like her. I don't know if she was just saying that's her sister or if that's a friend, but nonetheless, we meet her sister and we learn that the sister is living with her. So not she has her child and then she has her sister living with her, which I don't see an issue with, but she's married and this man is coming home soon. And I'm sure all my people who are married or who have been married or whatever you want to call it know that as a married person, it's just not the coolest thing to be living with other people. How can you effectively communicate and get to know your partner when you live with other people? It's very difficult. So, you know, maybe if they've been married for a while and then had her live with them, fine. But they're newlyweds who have never lived together. The sister's in the way. But I also feel like, why put your sister out for a dude you don't really know? So I'm kind of like teetering the fence, as they say. Now, we learned that Troy is not happy about the sister living there. And he says when he gets out, he wants her gone from the house as soon as possible. For the reason that I just stated, he feels it would be harder for him to get to know his wife. I'll say at least he's taken the marriage seriously, I guess. But we learned she's a director of an organization with Troy that helps out people who are incarcerated, related to their families, and all of that, which is nice. But then the conversation goes from nice to stupid because this girl says that she has spent $50,000 of her money on this man. And then she has a money bouquet, literally, money literally situated to look like a bouquet of flowers. It was dollar bills, y'all. She has that. Then she's got cash for him to put in his wallet for when he arrives. But her big ass son is on a bunk bed. Girl, you're putting your money in places that don't make sense. She said something stupid about the money, which annoyed me. She was like, I'm a person that I don't worry when I spend because I know that when I spend, I'm going to get money back. Girl, stop BSing people. You got a job and you work for the money. Please stop playing with us, Raya. Please. Now, Zariah then shows this ugly tattoo that she got across her whole side that says Troy's name, and it looks terrible. It looks terrible. It really did look terrible. I don't like the tattoo. Definitely doesn't belong on a woman. It's not the most feminine. But having a tattoo of his name is not going to make him behave, baby girl. It's just not. Now she goes to see a psychic and astrologist, which I felt like the psychic was BS because if you a psychic, ain't you supposed to like sense the spirit? Why do you need a card to tell you something if you psychic? I thought that was something different. But the chick is playing with the cards and she's asking the spirit gods or spirit guides questions about Troy. And essentially, the spirit guides say that Troy has two women. They ask if he has a baby mama and states that the relationship's not going to work. She said the love is strong. Lord, you know what? I don't know why she thinks it's gonna work when he's got a baby mama. I don't know why you would think that, especially from jail. Like, you really have no way to gauge if it's gonna work if he's got a baby mama and he's in jail until he's free and you see how he interacts with the baby mama. But homegirl gonna do what she do. She gonna do what she do. So, you guys, this is your friendly reminder. If you have not already, be sure to like the video. We do appreciate you. It's an easy and free way to support the channel. I have a tiny channel and I am trying to grow. And as I grow, I will improve with the visuals and audio and all of those things. But to do that, I need people to see me. So please like the video. We're going to discuss the next couple, which is Kim and Joey. Um, Kim has been married twice. She says she's never been single for longer than 2 weeks. She admitted to being a person who is a serial relationship girl, which I'm like, oh, here we go. As soon as she said that, I was like, "Oh, Jesus, help us." Now, Kim is dating Joey, who she's known for her entire life. They've known each other a very long time, as well as friends and family. And she goes to visit her dad. And I was cracking up because her dad swears that Joey stole his dirt bike. I'm thinking this is something recent. This is something that happened over 20 years ago. I'm like, look, bro, let it go. It's been 20 years. The dirt bike is gone. It's probably a newer model anyway. Like, let it go. But the dad is mad. He said he lost a smooth $1,600. And he says that he cannot prove that Joey stole this dirt bike, but he believes in his heart that Joey stole this dirt bike. And he said if he could prove it, he would have pressed charges. I said, oh, not trying to add more charges. So I got just from this little introduction to her dad that he is not the happiest that Kim is dating Joey, and I don't really blame him, especially the fact that they've known Joey most of their lives. Like they've probably watched him just f up over and over and over. So I kind of understand where the dad is coming from. Now Kim is dumb though. She gonna say she spent $15,000 on him while locked up. Now this is not surprising on Love After Lockup because anybody who's watched this show knows that that's kind of what made it interesting, finding out how much these women and or men are willing to spend on a locked up partner. But that's what happens. What was concerning is that she says she sent money to other inmates to pay off debts that he owed in jail. That's concerning because now they have your information. Why are you paying off debts he's got in jail? That means he's doing something he's not supposed to do. So I'm like him. If you're not thinking of that, but you're not the smartest. You're just not the smartest. Now, she and Joey, I don't know who the hell Jerry is. She and Joey want to get married, as most couples on this show. But there's a technicality because Kim is legally still married. It sounds like she's in the process of divorce, but we didn't really get much information. But I'm like, okay, the guy is not in the kid's life, the ex-husband. It seems like she's just on her own. Like, I never understand that. Like, get divorced. And if you can't, then get a lawyer and say he's not divorcing me. But figure it out, please. I'll be damned if I'm married to somebody I don't want to be married to. But luckily, I love my husband, so I'm not in that situation. Thank the Lord. Let me knock on wood. Um, Anywho, basically, we see Kim's friend come, who she's also known much of her life, and this friend knows Joey. And this friend also states that Kim has a history of dating drug addicts and does not choose good guys. And the friend is understandably concerned. So Kim is more so saying that she has not had love in 7 years. I'm like, girl, that's good. If you were a serial dater, she's the hot mess express on the low. Like she's got a clean house, she's taking care of her kids and all of that. But then you could see that like everybody has their flaw, and her flaw is in who she dates and the choices she makes. Because what's wrong with her? Help her, God. Uh, but she's on the way to go get Joey because he's going to be getting out, and it looks like she has a good relationship with his mom because she's coming over to watch Kim's kids while she goes to get him. Kim's got a cabin in the mountains, and she's planning, all this romantic country stuff for, sexy time and his freedom. And he's calling her while she's literally in the car. And he says that a woman sent him a message saying that Kim is still messing with her ex and that she was spotted out in public, hugged up on some tall guy. And Joey asked her, listen, is you being faithful? Now, the way I format the recaps when I go over Love After Lockup, you guys, is I go over each couple in the order that we see them, that they were introduced in the episode. And then I just talk about what happened with them throughout the episode. So I know for a lot of you, you're like, oh, that's where the episode ends. Yes, but we're going to continue to the next couple. Also, friendly reminder, like the video if you haven't already, subscribe if you haven't. I welcome you all. And comment your opinions. We do respond. And shout out to the replay gang, the people who watch us when we're no longer live. Y'all mean the world. Y'all mean the world. So we're gonna find out what happens with Joey and Kim next week. But so far, it's looking like a mess. But I have a feeling they'll stay together because they're showing the previews for Life After Lockup, which will premiere in October. And it looks like Joey and Kim will be on that. So now we get into Shantae and True, who we saw on Love During Lockup. Here's my beef with them. According to Amber, shout out to According to Amber, fabulous YouTube channel. She gets the scoop, the down low on everybody who's on Love After Lockup in a deeper way. So I always encourage everybody to subscribe, follow her, all of those good things. We got a lot of spoilers through a video of hers on what's going to happen with Shantae and True. I'm not going to go over that on this episode because I don't want to, be spoiling it for anybody. But I do pretty much have an idea of how this ends and where it's going to go. Now, we didn't get much from Shantae and True. She's preparing for him to get out. I don't understand why she never saw him when she was locked up, but okay, boo. Now, she arrives to the jail and True's sister's there. And it looks like he is going to go home with Shantae. That was a question that we had last season. Like, would he go home to Shantae or to his mama? And I think it's smart for him to go home to Shantae because it sounds like his mom was part of the reason he was in prison. And I just don't think that's healthy. But yeah, he gets free and pretty much it goes well. We're not going to get much from them this episode. We'll see more with Shantae and True next week and as it progresses. But I don't know. I want him to fix that hairline and let go of them dreadlocks. That's what I'll say. And I'm going to move on now. Letitia and Keith are back. Letitia and Keith were on Love During Lockup a couple seasons ago. I would say two, maybe 3 seasons ago. Letitia has had a Letitia, I'm sorry, Letitia, not Lakeisha, but Letitia has had a slew of legal problems. We done seen an eviction. She done been kicked out her house, her business, allegedly, all of these things. Allegedly, Letitia don't pay her bills. I'm saying allegedly because I'm not the channel or the YouTuber that's going to go into it and be doing this research like I'm an investigative journalist to find out. But I do watch other YouTubers, such as According to Amber, and other reputable Geo and other reputable people who report on Love After Lockup and the couples that are on here. And Letitia has had issues with her bills. It don't look like she liked to pay them. That's what I'll say. Uh, but she's back, and it looks like a new law is resulting in Keith being able to be let out of prison early because he served more than his minimal time. And I don't understand why she's not speaking of the business of her legal issues. I don't understand it. It's been some time since all of that was happening in this film. So I'm just like, can we speak about that? Because the true fans of the show, we want to know. We want to know. This girl in a new office every other week. I want to know. Anywho, I forgot that this couple was married by proxy, which means that somebody else came and signed for them to be married together. But we see Tisha and Aunt Marcia. Looks like they are close. Aunt Marcia's been helping her with the kids and things of that nature. She's Keith's aunt, but I do like that Letitia bonded with his aunt just off the strength that it's like, oh, she's close to my husband. I think that's a lovely thing to do. Uh, Anywho, Keith's going to be coming home any day. And it looks like the concerns that are had have to do with Letitia's oldest daughter, Naraya. Naraya's 15 years old. I said it when I recapped Love During Lockup. The girl is very smart. Nothing that this little girl is saying is like her being a jerk or a moody teenager. Like she actually seems pretty logical and her concerns seem to make sense. To her, Keith is a stranger. She's never met him. He's in prison. She also stated on Love During Lockup that Letitia has a habit of dating men, moving them in too fast, that doesn't work, and that it impacts her kids in some way. So, and this came from her daughter. I'm not just making it up. If y'all believe me, go on and watch Love During Lockup a couple seasons ago. You will see that. But it doesn't look like Naraya is going to be okay with the fact that Keith is coming home because she feels that he's a stranger. And I got pissed off with Letitia because her youngest daughter starts crying because she wants Keith to come home. Talk about, I want my daddy home. Baby girl, that's not your father. Now, I get tired, and I know we're going to see it on this show. Y'all women got to stop thinking that because it didn't work with the father of your child or whatever the hell happened, that you are on like this weird, like, hunt for a father for your kids. A stepfather is a wonderful thing, but that will never be the actual father of your kids. This little girl is crying over a man that she don't know and you don't know. They've just had some good conversations and things of that nature. But you've never been with Keith on the outside ever, not even for a day, not for a week. So it just concerns me because if the relationship doesn't work between Letitia and Keith, now the daughter is attached and she's going to be impacted. So I don't like that. But honestly, half of these moms is irresponsible. They know how to love their kid within their heart, so they say. They provide food and housing, but that don't make you a good parent. And I question a lot of the parents on this show sometimes, especially with how open they are to just let their kids be talking to an inmate and getting that attached. But we will see more that happens with Letitia next episode. As of now, Mr. Keith is not free as of now. Now, the last couple we're going to get to is Hope and Arthur. They are new. We've not met them before. And it's interesting because Hope is 27 and she is a truck driver. She's nervous to see Arthur out in the real world. She has spent time with him in the real world. 2 months, 60 days, and then he went right back to jail. But Arthur does end up getting released. And at the release, we see his mom there. And instantly, this lady is a problem. I could tell by how she was standing that she was a problem. She had an attitude to say she don't trust Hope and she don't like that he being released to Hope and not the mom. Be mad at your son, lady. And secondly, maybe he do need to be released to her because whatever you did, while you talk about your son's a mama's boy and he need to be with you and you don't need permission, maybe being with you was why he was in trouble. Because people not just breaking the law to break the law to break the law, especially if you got a mama that's gonna coddle you, let you live with them, and let you be a mama's boy, like Keith's mom. Like it, I can't stand moms like this. Like, lady, let him go, let him go. I'm just saying. Anywho, the ladies at the release relatively early, and Hope does arrive. And as soon as Hope gets there, the mom is instantly complaining. She's like, why would she drive a truck? I didn't quite understand why she drove the semi truck to pick him up either. Because I'm like, I know you have your own car somewhere or something. Uh, I didn't understand why she drove that truck there. Who drives a semi truck just regularly to drive it? I don't know. I felt like that was for the camera. Anywho, the mom's complaining and all of these things, and I they get into it. Well, they don't really argue, but they do go back and forth with each other, which kind of irked my soul because I'm like, this is not the time for either to be arguing. I felt like the mom did too much, but then I also felt like Hope kind of did too much because she had a little bit of an attitude, and that's where the mom was like, "Nah, you not that innocent." And that's when it comes up that the first time that he was locked up, Hope didn't know how long he would be gone. So they made an arrangement, herself and Arthur, that she could go have sex with other men because she said her needs have to get met, but she can't grow an emotional attachment. That's so tricky because most people end up growing an emotional attachment. And is separate from that, girl, you act like there's not sex toys. If you really love that man, you would have waited. So instead, you went to other dudes. Nope. And she's a trucker. So what if he get out and she got to go on like a truck, go drive, and she's gone for a couple weeks or a couple months? What she do when she's on the road and she get horny? I don't understand it. So now I'm looking at Hope and the mom with a side eye. But apparently Arthur saw a video of Hope and somebody else. So I'm looking like, oh yeah, I don't think they're gonna work. I don't think they're gonna work. I just don't. First of all, I don't know why she had on what she had on at the release. Talk about I had to get cute, and it looked like she was fresh out of the sun and a swimming pool with kids or something. The girl looked toe up and like she was funky or sweaty. So I didn't know what the hell she was wearing. Waist trainers are your friends sometimes. Yes, I said it, but I'm looking at everybody with a side eye. So I don't think that Hope and Arthur are going to make it. I don't. I also don't really think that Zariah and Troy are going to make it. And Kim and Joey, I'm on the fence about. So I don't know who's really going to make it, y'all. I genuinely don't know. But I'm going to enjoy watching. I'm going to enjoy watching. I appreciate everybody for watching this recap. That is all that happened on this episode of Love After Lockup. Love After Lockup does air on Fridays in the evening. We will be here every Saturday and or Sunday sometimes to recap the episode. Thank you for watching. If you are part of the replay gang, if you are new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thug Life. We do recaps of various shows and various networks. And I am open to suggestions. If there's something you guys would like me to recap, let me know. I'm totally open to it. I will add it to that calendar. Other than that, be on the lookout for music reactions. I will be back on the channel on Monday for a live for Housewives of New Jersey and a music review. And I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your weekend. Adios.